Hello and welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and joining me again is Morganne Rayne, adept visionary, spiritual guide and artist. And we have Alisha Ann Kingrey in the house as well, but we cannot see her. But she is empath and mission to help other empaths to achieve financial freedom and independence. Hello, Alishan.
Hi, everyone. I'm coming from the fifth dimension today. That's why you can't see me.
Okay.
She's ascended.
That's right.
Okay, great. Great. Only voices
We're
left.
channeling her from the other side.
Yes,
Good one.
great.
Oh.
How you been, ladies? Who wants to start?
Well, I'll go ahead and start. It's there's a lot going on energetically, and so being the little empath that I am, I feel and experience all of that. So, but it's like a good it's like good energy, but it's also the integration of that energy as it comes in. So, and today, like I was telling you before, I'm going up to hike into a logging farm where there is a vortex up there. And I'm going to go spend 3 hours in the vortex and working with shamans. They've been going up there. There's only a period of time that it's open. So, and I have I think another 10 days I can go back and forth to do actually a little bit longer than that, maybe a couple of weeks going back, and it's to receive divine love codes. And so I'm very interested in honing my own frequency and allowing myself to experience, first of all, the divine love codes, and then to be able to share that with the world. So that's what I'm up to for today.
Wow, sounds very interesting.
Beautiful. I am doing amazing as well. I am still in my rabbit hole that we talked about the last time. I guess it's a history lesson of everything. Okay, so I have been studying history. I've been studying religion. I've been studying stuff for so long. But now I'm realizing all of the history that I've been studying for all of these years is about me. I'm studying who I am, where I fit into this whole universe, and how my past has led me to where I am. Not my 47-year-old past, my thousands and thousands, millions, eons of years past has led me to this exact place that I am now. So that's what I'm trying to fit into this world. How do I fit my whole self, meaning my whole universal self, the I am, the everything, the vastness of me? How do I encapsulate that into my now 3D existence?
Alisha, something when you're talking about that reminds me of something I wrote in the new course I'm working on, which is making peace with your ancestors. And one of the phrases that came to me when I was working on that was, "I am my ancestors."
Yeah.
And
Yes.
when you talk about all that research and to discover where you are, you know, who you are, we are that. And we are, you know, and there's another thing I say, we are the dream of our ancestors. Not only we've dreamed ourselves into existence, you know, and I love thinking about it that way, because it allows us just to be the evolution of that, the blooming of that, rather than I'm a separate component from and separated from those things. I'm just an extenuation of it. I am the blooming of it. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's beautiful. Right
Erin,
now, my niece is. I've done a lot of study about my mother's people. They come from Taos, New Mexico, and they're indigenous people from the New Mexico area. And she got into the tribal records and just found this huge, long, multi-generational lineage from the Pueblo, from the tribal records. And so I was having that same kind, even though you're going back eons of time, I'm going back, you know, 12 generations, 14 generations, to go back and I guess in some odd way be in their moccasins so that I can experience what they experience, because that's part of who I am. It's a part, you know, it's that extenuation of the lineage as me. And so to go back and touch that and listen to the names and listen to, you know, and and understand where they come from and what was going on in their lives at that time, all that's encoded in me. Their struggles, their victories, their celebrations, all that's encoded as it is for each of us. So in making peace with our ancestors, we make peace with self. Just saying.
yes, beautiful. It kind of really hit home yesterday when I was watching a video by Aaron Abke. He teaches all the law of one. He's
Oh
really,
yeah.
really amazing. I really adore him. So he was answering a question yesterday. So, you know, what's up with this higher being thing? Like, what is all that about? And I'm really, really familiar with that, because I know when I sit here alone, I'm always talking to the other side. And so that was a question that I've had. So, what is this higher being thing all about, right? Who am I talking to when I sit here? And he went into the whole, um, you know, polarization of the universe. We have the positive and the negative polarization. But once you have gotten to the sixth density, service to self, there's kind of a wall that you hit when you get there. It's like to get to the next level, you're in such a high density in the sixth level, sixth density, that to now reincarnate even further into seventh density positive, you go back into all of your previous lifetimes, and now you assist yourself to ascend. This is like part of your assignment, I guess you could call it, that helps you go on to the even higher densities. So that made a ton of sense to me, because I feel like my higher self is me, which obviously it is, but obviously I'm in a higher density because I understand things that I don't understand in this density. When I sit and I talk to myself, I work out a lot of these questions that I have, and I understand a lot more because I'm seeing through a different lens. On that side, I'm seeing through a lens that's already in higher density, reflecting on how we should do things in this life. So, and now I'm still kind of, and maybe you can ask this, so, or answer this. Me guiding myself now through this density, I'm almost thinking like this is not my first go round as even Alisha Ann Kingrey possibly in this reality right now. And is my, I guess it's all my question, have I been in this exact spot before? And because there's so many mistakes that I made in this lifetime, now my higher self is guiding me to better choices to get me back on the service to self positive polarity to ascend quicker than we did last time, I guess would be the question.
Well, first of all, the guidance that's coming up, first of all, says there are no mistakes. So
that's true. Yeah.
That's a piece of guidance for you and for everyone else. We mistakenly believe that mistakes are something wrong or bad. Mistakes are just part of the education process of learning, and it's an integration of that. So when you look at, I'm just going to talk about mistakes, and then we'll move on into the lineage of self, the ancestry of self. So mistakes are those aspects of us that are, we try something and it didn't give us the result we want, so we call it a mistake. And a lot of times what we do is, because of that mistake, we carry with it some shame and blame and all of that. And that's unnecessary, but unfortunately people around us might lay that on us, like shame on you or whatever for making a mistake. But actually a mistake is something that we need to make in order to get to where we need to be. If we didn't make those mistakes, if we just kind of sat still and did nothing, we would stagnate and not evolve at all. It's through the trying, it's through the experimentation, it's through the touching, feeling, trying, doing all of that we become who we are. And then we can make decisions out of the results of that. And that puts us on a trajectory of choosing what more wisely, or choosing out of that beautiful feeling of love and peace and all of that. If we choose out of chaos and pain and suffering, well, we're still making the same mistake. And that becomes what they call a sin. Sin is to miss the mark. So we got the mistake, and then if we keep repeating that, it becomes a sin. We've missed the mark over and over and over again, but we keep doing it. After that, they call you just stupid, because you keep doing the same thing that's not giving you that. That was a high metaphysical term.
Yes, I could recognize it right away.
But the thing is, we do that as humans. We sometimes make that same mistake over and over again, expecting what? A different result.
A different result.
Right. And so, then if we're there, that's when I go, sometimes I've been pretty stupid too. But it's the courage to keep trying. See, out of mistakes, we get scared to try, because we get scared we're going to make more mistakes. But that's what we're supposed to be doing. And they're not mistakes. They're just other ways of doing things. But out of those ways, are we getting the results we want? So I always go back to, what's the result I want? And how is it that I could be thinking or feeling in order to get that result? And so I try to go back to that. Okay, that's enough on mistakes. So,
yeah, and that is a super, super great point. And you have to keep reminding yourself the programming is so deep. And we've been knee deep in it for so long that it's just a habit to say the wrong things. And doing the wrong things is not the problem. It's like you said, that mistakes are building blocks to ascension. However, it's really hard to speak these days, because when you get rid of everything around you, all of your crutches, all of your saviors, and you realize you are it. That's a huge responsibility.
Yep.
So now every single word that you say has to be held captive first. I have to think about everything now, and okay, is this going to help in my ascension, or is this going to set me back? Everything. It's a lot of responsibility, and this is why we see 95% of people on the planet are taking the easy route and just following the mainstream, because, man, it is a ton of responsibility to be your own God of your own universe. It really is.
Yep. And when we go back, I want to go back and talk about the aspects of your higher self that you talk with, right? Those are all parts of us. When we are guided to higher mastery, that's the higher mastery of who we are. You know, what does even the Christ say? He says the Father is within you. God is within you. That means God is part of you. That's what you are. So and that's probably the highest aspect you could probably do, is, saying, the Creator lives in me, Source lives in me. And that's how I access it, is through me. We're portals to that, but we're also portals to all our higher selves and our higher knowledge. And that's a lot why when I work with Holy Spirit language, I ignite that Holy Spirit frequency in my heart and in my mind. And then I am directly tapped into the higher aspects of my being. The guidance and all that is not separate from who we are. It's part of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So again, it's okay. I am in the place that I've always wanted to be in. However, I have never known that this was the place, because I was always coming with such a lower frequency when thinking about the place, right? The place has always been, let me try to be a better person so God can give me more blessings.
Oh.
Let me try to be let me try to not do this so I look better in, God's eyes, so I can have my life going better. Like, it's always been, looking back, it's such a scapegoat. It's such a it's such a mediocre, lukewarm place to be.
Yep.
Because you never take responsibility for yourself as long as you have that mindset. It's, well, let me live my life, and I'm just going to fall on the back of somebody else to make it work out good. And if it works out good, I'm going to blame it on God. If it doesn't work out good, I'm going to blame it on God. Either way, the responsibility never falls on my shoulders for my good life or my bad life. And it's a really easy place to be.
Yeah. I'll go back to your readings on the Law of One. There's service to self, and then there's service to others. Service to others is the path, the higher path. But we get to it through understanding about service to self. We must fill up our own cup first.
Yeah.
We must come from the consciousness of love and peace and joy, and all that is in alignment with source frequency, bliss, all of that. And then from there, we can be an outpouring of that frequency to others. And when we are in service, like today, the three of us are in service to others. We're not here as service to self. We are service to others. We dispense our wisdom from what we've learned from our mistakes and from our study and from our knowledge and from our tapping in. We give it freely. We give it. We're here to help others, lift others up, help others ascend, help others even just come, wake up that they're in the 3D. We're here to be a part of that. But we chose that because we have come so many times, and we know. I believe that that's what the purpose of being here at this time is all about. And but that took evolutions of experiences, lifetimes of experiences to get to where we are today, awake and aware, and even in the midst of what looks like it's not that, right? I mean, there's so much lower frequency, lower dimension, that 3D density. It's so prevalent in our world. I even see people who are, claim to be, a higher consciousness and all of that. But I tell you what, if you mention the name of Trump, man, the worst hate shit comes out of their mouths.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, just in a mention of a name, right?
Yeah.
So you see actually see the true colors of where their pretense of being love and light is not love and light.
Right.
You see their true, when hate comes out, hate lives within them. And I think that's one reason I want to go do the love code thing today in the vortex, right? Because I had a dose of that on Saturday with not just one but several people, where people can feel the way they feel, but to proselytize hate is
right.
They're
not in the fear space as long as you agree with them.
Exactly. They're in the love and light as long as you agree with them.
And also ego work.
And also they are in love and light when you give them money for their knowledge.
Yep.
And as more money you can give, as more love they will give you back.
Yep.
That's right. That is true. So that is absolutely the hardest. Okay. So at the end of the day, what I came to realize in knowing myself, knowing who I am, I know nothing about who I am. Absolutely nothing. So I have had to sit down this week and I looked up, okay, what are the attributes of God? God is love. God is mercy. God is patience. God is kind. God is, light. God is love. There's all of these things. So now I, in order to be my true self, must be these things. And my hardest thing this week, and the universe has thrown me a ton of people to test me, to see where I'm at. However, I recognize it immediately for what it is, which is a good place to be. And I have had to switch there are people that are going to make me mad. However, it's like crawling up the telephone pole and getting over that fear. It's very mad. Anger is a very third dimensional, fearful place to be. So recognizing when somebody says or does so and so to me, and I instantly, instead of feed that situation with fear, which is not one of I am attributes, I feed that situation with blessings, with love. I turn it around. And this is how I've made it out of 3 major situations this week. I didn't get the outcome. And see, here's the thing. We are so outcome driven. I did not on every situation get the outcome that I wanted, that I thought I needed at the time. And I think that just goes back to the testing aspect of it. I believe it to be just a test. And I believe myself to be loving and merciful, even though I did not get the required outcome. So that's where I am right now. I'm, for one, watching every single word that leaves my mouth. And for 2, going into my I am attributes, going into the full knowledge of who I really am.
Yeah.
I am not the person that I have thought I am for 47 years. I am. There's a whole lot of attributes that fall under that. You know, God, the universe, Hashem, whatever you want to call him, he makes it rain on the just and the unjust, right? He makes it rain on the good people and the bad people. He gives sunshine to the good people and the bad people. He gives food and blessings to the to the good people and the bad people.
Yeah.
So it's really about flying above 3D existence and not being in 3D existence. That's where I am in my whole ascension thing now.
Yep. And it's also to bring that experience here to the 3rd dimension, because we're here. We are here. Right. I don't know about you, but Alisha Ann doesn't even have a body. But for me and Daiga,
we're still here.
We still have.
Maybe Morganne, maybe next week we will disappear.
Maybe so. I'm still in this 3rd dimensional body. So there's a phrase, and we've all heard it, bringing heaven to earth. Bringing the higher states of consciousness into this physical body, because we oftentimes will try to make the 3D wrong. Well, it's just another experience. It's actually, everything about it is juicy and beautiful, and it's like, I'm so glad to be here, because on this 3D experiences, we've got flowers and fragrances and food and comforts,
colors,
right?
people.
It's like, exactly. And it's to enjoy and be in that, because God created this too. This is part of creation. It's just not getting attached to that. This is all there is. There's more than this. And that's the value of the meditation, because you can close your eyes to that which is in front of you, the scene, right? The experience, and tap into the field of infinite possibilities, where we are creators, where we can influence our 3D. We begin to bring that consciousness of creatorship, which is heaven, to our physical realm here on planet Earth. So it's also important to remember that living this life here in the density is just part of the experience. And not only that, we chose to come here at this time, at the time of the heaviest density, so we could bring the love, the light, the awareness, the consciousness, the heaven on earth. We could bring it here and assist others to be lifted up from the attachment to that this is all there is. Yeah.
And I'm fully aware that my separation is temporary. I have had the wrong outlook on the 3D existence this whole time. I've had the wrong experience in this 3D existence the whole time. It's kind of like I've been in the ocean of 3D this whole time. So I've had the wrong perception of 3D. But taking the step back and fixing myself, understanding who I am and what I bring to humanity at this time, like it's not, I cannot bring my service to self in full view until I get the correct perception of 3D reality. As long as I'm in the deep end and that's all I see is this 3D existence, I can't fully experience the reality of who I am. So by taking a step out of my life, this life, for a while, getting my perspective correct, right? Like service to self, service to others starts with service to self. If I'm still speaking the wrong way, your words are powerful. If I'm still speaking negative existence into the universe, I could never possibly talk to a brother and say, hey, you speak life and death in the tongue. Well, how can I say that when I'm doing the same thing?
Exactly.
And truth only comes by revelation. So if people are watching me speak life and love into existence, and that's very attractive, and the people with ears to hear will see it, that alone will be my teaching and my helping humanity. Just by being I am.
You know, words are casting spells, you know, and when you look at words, we call it spelling, right? And that's really what it is. It's, and especially if you attach your I am to it, I am is the most powerful alignment that you have. So when you say I am, you really want to be careful about how, especially if you say it with any emotion. I mean, I've heard people like be so filled with emotion. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick, and I'm like, whoa,
yeah.
Whoa. You might want to rethink that. But you know, it's up to people to realize that they create their own physical existence because we are creators, right? We hold creatorship in the blood in our veins. It's what we are. And when we look at creating, you know, people want to believe that they're creators, but they don't really understand that they are creators, that we each create the lives that we want by what we're aligning with. So for me, it's been so powerful to understand the concept of the I am. I am that I am. You look at what you're aligning with. So I am peace. I am. So I insert that in there. So you get to choose. I am love. I am. But you can also say I am sick, or I am tired, or I am jealous, or I am, you know, I am angry, or whatever. But you're aligning yourself with that frequency,
that vibration,
and you're casting your own spell on your own self, and that's that ego that is well, it's the part of us that believes it's separate from source. That's the suffering that humanity's under. And I look at this, I mean, we got all those elitists up there that are saying there is no God. There, you know, it's they've removed God from the entire equation and become totally service to self. Right. So, and what they do is use others to satisfy that need to be in service to self, when really every one of us, we're an aspect of one another. You know, we that's why it's so important to love one another. What was the commandments? Love one another as I have loved you. Love one another. So when we say I am love, where are you directing that? You know, where are you directing that? But you know the full measure of a person when you butt up against something that they're not in line with. You know, it's interesting because I have this real middle of the road, like I don't have that that divisiveness within my mind, them or us. I see us all as we're in this grand experiment together as we're moving through this ascension process to understand what we are releasing and let go of that doesn't belong to us, so that we can unhook from the density. We could be in the density. This is again what the Christ said: be in the world but not of the world.
Of the world. Mm-hmm.
Right? So go out and be in it, enjoy it, love it, feel it, smell it, eat it, whatever, but don't be of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you align with that, then you lose your edge on your creatorship. You start get sucked into the world and what it wants. So so again, it's just so magnificent when we begin to start aligning with our true I am, and stay in those higher frequencies, because they feel better. And guess what? It's okay to feel good. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's really okay. So we go after, Esther Hicks talks a lot about that in her channeling of Abraham, right? To, when you're out of alignment, when you don't feel good. So go back to finding the feeling better place, right?
Yeah.
And that's that tuning up, that's awakening, that's the meditation, that's the extraction from the attachment and the density. So
I see the universe now like truly like the Matrix. If you guys remember the movie where they were staring at a screen with zeros and ones. Do you remember that? It was just like a bunch of numbers and letters and junk going up and down. They could read the code because they've taught themselves how to read the code. But the untrained eye, they have no idea what they're looking at. They just see green ones and zeros everywhere and like, what? But if you think about like the Fibonacci sequence and the what Tesla brought us with the 369, and the whole Earth is a mathematical equation. The whole universe is a mathematical equation. My body is a mathematical equation. What do you do? If I was sitting here and I got a virus on my computer, would I say, oh man, I have a virus? Call my husband. Hey, hon, do you have a virus? Hey, Morganne, you know what? I have a virus. Hey, you guys, look at, I'd make a YouTube video. Oh my gosh, I have a virus. I have a virus. I'm a virus. Well, why would I waste my time talking about it? I would go directly to like an antivirus thing, or I would, take my computer to get fixed immediately. And so that thing is fixed. My virus is gone.
Yeah,
I'm back to free-flowing ones and zeros again. So if my body is not feeling well, why would I call Morganne and say, Morganne, I'm sick? Hun, I'm sick. Call my mother-in-law. Hey, I'm sick. Why would I not reprogram my system? And how do you do that? For one, by commanding it. How do you do that? You talk your way out of it. That's the first thing. You don't say, don't say what you're thinking, say what you know you are. If I have a pain in my hip, I'm not going to, call the world and tell everybody I have a pain in my hip. I am going to walk through the house, and every time I feel that, I am going to say, I am complete. I am perfect. I am whole. This is how I'm changing my programming.
Yeah.
And eventually, you don't even feel that stuff anymore, because I believe the pain is a test also, because pain is not true. It's not reality. Ones and zeros are realities, right? Like, our programming is, and we get bugs sometimes, we get glitches sometimes. It just means that we have to pay attention to certain areas of our life. And again, it goes back to the test. What are you, everything is roses and flowers, and when your life is going good, when your health is great. But how are you talking when you feel bad? How are you talking when you have a pain in your hip? How are you talking when your bank account is a little low? That's when the true test comes in. But people will look at this stuff and they'll go, oh my gosh, my life is over. I have no money. They'll speak all of this death into existence instead of taking their God-given I am authority and speaking life back into existence. You are the owner of your computer. You program the things that you want in your existence, and you get rid of the things that you don't want. And I am not pointing the finger at anybody. I'm not pointing blame on anybody. This is literally the hardest thing that I've had to do in my whole existence. And I've been at this, well, for 47 years. Very shortly after I was born, I knew I was different than everybody else. I never could figure it out until literally a week ago. No, it's not easy. Yes, it's going to be the hardest thing that you will ever have to do. However, if you knew that you had to, do something horrible for a while and there was heaven at the end, how hard would you work to get to that heaven? And that's,
well, it's like what I was talking about with walking the fire, right? The fire walking, the walking on the hot coals. That's exactly what it's like. It's the those hot flaming coals where the fire's licking out of it. You're looking at that, and that holds the entire concept of pain and suffering and damage to the physical body.
right.
And
Yeah.
like you think about, I must be an idiot to to think I can all of that's going to come forward when you're standing in front of the what you might consider the problem or the issue, or the dynamic. But what takes you through that is your capacity to know what it is you desire on the other side. Right. So on the other side of that, your experience of I am safe, I am whole, I am, look what I did, that kind of exuberance. And when you walk through the coals or walk through the issue with that awakening and that remembering inside of you, that those coals, they're just the vehicle that takes you to. So that's why people go, why do bad things happen to good people? Well, they happen, but it's not for you to put and align your energy with the hot coals or the problem or the issue. You can see what it is and go, oh, but my truth is I'm on the other side and I am happy and I am whole and I am safe. All of those things, that whatever that issue is bringing up for you, that's perfect, because it's kind of like when you're doing Ho'oponopono, right? You got this thing, this issue. It could be with a person, it could be with yourself. So you clean it, you clear it by I'm sorry, please forgive me, with the issue, so that you can get to the other side, so you can get to the absolute truth of who you are as a whole sacred being. So does that align with what you were saying?
Yes, exactly. It's just changing your perception on true reality. What you see or feel is not always true reality. If it's not love, it's not true. The only thing that exists is love.
That's correct. That's
If
correct.
it's
And when we
not
get back
love,
to Yep. And when we get to that higher state of, that's what I call the higher state, is a love state, that frequency that is all accepting, all appreciating, all allowing, that state. When we get to that, then we're in pure creatorship, because then we can align with what it is we truly want. So in our world, the world is going through the freaking biggest firewalk ever, right? All the fears, all the fears. And if you've ever stood in front of the where it is, you like your knees go jelly, all the thoughts come up. And it's really that I got to come back to center. What's the truth here? I am safe on the other side. I am love on the other. It's like it's the planet is just going through this biggest firewalk, but I am in my own beingness seeing us to the other side. Even the ones that people that I really care about, listening to the negativity and
mainstream media.
Yeah, it's, watching that spew out of their mouth. It's kind of like I just kind of look at them and immediately go to forgive the confusion. Just like forgive the confusion, forgive the confusion, and then moving it to. But I see even perfectly beautiful people who believe that they have a clue, actually really don't, because they're still practicing hate, and they're still practicing divisiveness. When we can look at everyone and see them all as the beautiful children of the divine, which is what we are, and that's where we're going, then that's our job. That's our job, to help them. So
sure. I mean, humans are very young in the grand scheme of things. Humans are very young in the universe. So if my granddaughter came to me telling me the silliest story I had ever heard, I wouldn't hate her for it. I would appreciate her creativity, probably, and I would maybe steer her in another direction. No, sweetie, that's, so and so or whatever. But realizing that she's a 3-year-old child, and that's her realm of reality, 3-year-old childness.
Yep.
So it's very easy to forgive coming from the mouth of a person that's in a very, very low frequency. You come at it with understanding. You come at it with forgiveness, if there need to be. You come at it with love, because you understand, how sweet is that creativity? How sweet is that child who's still trying to figure everything out? And, you really can't argue with people. It's not about arguing to see who's right or who's wrong or whatever. Just love everybody. Love is also, it's not only the only thing that there is, but it's the only thing that fixes every situation. When you argue with somebody, you're just like oil and water with this person. You're just making a really, really bad situation. So if you just love the person through it and you just accept their point of view and you walk away, how many times? Oh my goodness. My religious mother contacted me, and she said she was talking something about aliens, which would have been a conversation so out of her grasp before. We could have never had a conversation about this stuff before. Now she's more open to things because I don't fight with her. I let her still go your way, still think your way, still read your books, still, but the universe itself is showing her things. I could have never showed her this stuff through arguments, through my own discussion. People don't always accept things from us. So let it go. It goes back to forget about the outcome. I don't need to have a conversation with my mom and try to change her point of view. I don't need to. She's exactly where she's supposed to be.
Yep.
If she needs to be higher elevated, the universe will get her there. Right?
Through
Trust
that.
and love. That's what the world needs. Trust in the love, and
Yep.
then be the love.
Yep.
Love is all there is.
Yep. Can you love that?
Antonot,
that?
Antonot, love is all that is. Morganne, are you happy to do meditation?
Sure, I'll do a little short one. We don't have a whole lot of time here, so.
How much time do you have, or we can keep chatting more?
I have time to do a little meditation. Let's just see where it goes, okay?
Okay, let's see where it goes.
All righty. So I just invite everyone to make a choice to come present to yourself. And it is a choice, because we can stay out there and attached to the world, or we can go within. And I'm just inviting you to choose to come within, and you can take a breath and just kind of watch where that breath goes, and let that breath out. And take another breath in, and this time bring your awareness to your feet as you bring that breath in. Feel and experience your feet touching the floor, and the breath out. Just sense and feel where you are. So many times we humans forget to just come within, experiencing our presence, experiencing our physicality, forgetting about these temples that we have incarnated our souls and spirits into. Take a breath in. These physical temples that we have incarnated into, but they are not who we are. And just sit with that for a moment. And then allow the awareness of I am. Just put your attention on I am. I am. And think for a moment, actually think from your heart. Let's move right into that heart, where the divine intelligence resides. I am. I am. What does that mean to you? I am. Take a breath in. Anchor that awareness, that consciousness of I am. Who is I? What is I? Where is I? I am. Take a breath into your heart. And we'll begin just by saying, I am aware. Feel your body, but also feel that presence of that I am at the same time residing within the body. And then take that consciousness of the I am outside of your body, like maybe 3 feet outside of your body. The energetic projection of who you are. see that, sometimes we call that an aura or your energy vehicle. And in that expansion of outside of you rather than just inside of you energetically, I am, the expansion of the I am. Take a breath into that whole energetic body of you. Feel and experience what that energy outside of your physical density is. I am. Staying anchored in your heart. Allow that heart frequency of love and light just be all around you in that I am presence. And let's begin by I am light. And notice when you say I am light, is that light within you? Yes. And is that light outside of you? Yes. Take a breath into the light of your heart. And allow that light to just fully expand within your whole body temple. So that light ignites every cell of your being. And then that light just expands itself out and shines out into your aura. I am light. And maybe notice what color light you are. I am light. And I would say also, if there's a situation or a problem in your life, expand yourself into that and proclaim, I am light, and fill up that situation, that problem, with just light. Let's go back into the heart. I am love. I am love. What is that? What is love? What is that? Define that for yourself. For me, it is I am the presence and the power of the divine. I am creation. Love is, for me, all of that. It's the allowing of all creation to exist, for it is all created by the divine. Take a breath. And in your I am love, expand that outside your physical density into your I am light. And notice just energetically, what does that look like for you as you have your eyes closed? What do you imagine you are as love and light? What colors are you emanating? How's your energy feel? Look at your energy feel. Is it stable? Is it wobbly? Bring in more love and light. And as we come across people that don't believe what we believe and we don't believe what they believe, can you expand your love and light into that? Take a breath in. And if we notice that the others who do not think how we think or believe what we believe, what happens within you? Are you feeling agitated? Are you feeling bothered by that? And if so, bring the breath and the love and the light and ask for forgiveness for your confusion. We're going to do this again. We're going to come back into the heart where love and light dwell, and our creatorship of who we are, where the divine Father, God, Source, Creator lives. All of that within our own beingness. And as we wake up to that, imagine that all that living within you is now expanded outside of you. You projecting that divine God self, love self, light self to your entire world, to this world where it looks like war and famine and harm to one another exist. But bring now your love, your light, your consciousness, your awareness to this whole planetary construct we have. Just like that firewalk, that all could be like the firework, but what's on the other side of it? We're bringing the consciousness, the awareness of love, light. We are all one. We are all one. One love, one power, one presence. Take a breath in. And for a moment, visualize all beings here, all of them, even the ones we think are terrible and wrong and evil and all of that. We're going to scoop them all up into our love and our light. And we're going to allow God's love, God's infinite light, God's infinite forgiveness to just transmit through us and hold and scoop up every sentient being upon this planet. Take a breath in. Expand yourself to include everyone. And now just bring your energy back to you, to your heart, to your body, to your breath. I am. I am. I am love. I am light. I am God's love. I am God's light. Take a breath in. Anchor that within your beingness, recognizing your own I am. Allow that just to integrate so that you become so aware how you are using, embracing, and wielding those two powerful words. I am. I am. And for this awareness and for this remembering of who we are, I am so grateful. And for this time that we have come together to awaken, remember together, I am so grateful as we expand our awareness of who we truly are, the love that we are, the light that we are, into the world that we have incarnated into. So grateful for Alisha Ann and Daiga at this time that we bring this consciousness and awareness to those who are ready to hear, ready to receive, and ready to embrace their own I am. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was wonderful. Alisha, you still with us?
I'm here.
Great. Do you want to say something?
I love everybody, every single person listening to the sound of my voice. I love you. And my prayer for everybody would be that you could say that to every single person in your life, in your thoughts, in your presence, in your existence. Just love. That's all the world needs is more love.
Yep. Yep. I'd like to say one more thing because Alisha it reminded me of a little beam I saw, which says, I love you. And the person receiving it says, but you don't know me. And the response is, well, if others can hate for no reason people they do not know, I can love for no reason people I do not know. I love you. I love you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube video channel. And God bless. See you next time.